because I don't know if we actually speak grammatically correct English. We don't.
We don't. No.
We don't.
Well, and that gets to the point of basically, is there such thing as English, right? Like a unified code that all people know, and that like the rules are the rules, you know what I mean? Where like this letter represents this sound and everybody agrees, right? But we don't. So,
That's right, yeah.
So the question is, does English really exist?
It is getting deep.
I know, right?
I think, yeah. There's an overall English, which we all, like you say, follow the rules of the textbook. But conversational English, or the way you actually communicate with your friends, family, whoever, is, each country, each area almost have their own kind of way of talking.
Because when people communicate, it's their personality and passion comes through. So they're not going to, in conversational English, they're not necessarily going to stick to the grammatical rules because they're excited or passionate talking about something that they just want to express how they feel.
And that's where, so like you said, like the rules though, right? And so there are certain rules that we all agree upon. But what are those rules and who made them and where's the rule book, you know?
Even if we said, if I said the shirt blue, you would still know what I'm saying to you. I've just said the words in the incorrect order, right? So I would still say, you're speaking English, but you would say the shirt is blue, or the blue shirt. I don't know.
This has got super deep. I don't know what the rule book of English is or where it's come from, but
I also think about what you've always said to me, because he's a really big football fan, and you say football's the international language, right? Because when we've travelled and that, even if you can't speak the same, you've got a football, people know, kick the ball, right?
It's an interesting one because language is so diverse and open-ended. There is a rule book to a degree, but at the same time, there's not. And words get added to the dictionary every day.
And they join words together to make
10 years ago, selfie wasn't a word, was it?
I don't know.
I think that got added, 10, 15 years ago, no one knew what selfie was, and now that's a common word. Emoji is probably another one that's been added in the last 5-10
think
years.
actually emoji is Japanese.
Yeah,
maybe I could be wrong on that one, but emo is like emotion and G is letter, so emotional letters is what it
Makes sense.
means.
Adopted
Now
by
English word. Yeah.
English, So you could argue that there is, to a certain extent, a universal language that people understand through those kind of words. Starbucks, that's who we are at the moment. The brand, the logo.
I guess though the big question though, like does English, like one English exist, right? Like one overarching, even then it's so hard to decide what that is, and therefore for me the argument then becomes, well then English doesn't exist, like what other logical conclusion can there be,
So much, like if you go back to Old English, which is very, it's difficult to read, and even you have to decipher it as a native English speaker. Old English is like, and so it's evolved over time, but then as, if you want to talk about colonisation has happened, the language has spread, it's been adapted by cultures. Like we in New Zealand, our Indigenous people, the Māori people, the type of English we speak in New Zealand has definitely adapted because of that, and our accent has come out of that as well. And we have different words for things that people from, say, America or England wouldn't have or use, or
but we're still communicating mostly, right? But there's been crazy times when I've talked to a Kiwi before and I've been like, I'm sorry, can you say that again? Like, and I always remember that commercial that I saw about the dick. And he's like scrubbing his dick, and like his neighbor's wife likes his dick. You know,
the kids over to play on his dick, and his dick. Sorry.
The word is dick.
I keep saying it. Excuse me, I keep saying it wrong. Yeah, I don't want to say it, but like it's my dick.
Dick is a completely normal word to say. Like, we're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, I can't say it now because of our accent.
That's what I'm saying. Like your accent kind of like puts images in my mind that shouldn't be there because that's not what you're saying, even though that's what I heard.